Last time on the cursed harvest of Dimkala. In Dimkala, a fertile land guarded by ancestral spirits, Maku, a proud farmer, broke a sacred rule. He plowed the land during the month of silence, a time of mourning for the dead. The first harvest was golden, richer than ever, but soon after his children fell ill. Then his goats stopped eating. Rain clouds came but poured blood-colored rain. The elders pleaded with Maku to atone. And now, the cursed harvest of Dimkala. Part 2. Shadows of regret after the rain. Though the rains returned, not all was healed in Dimkala. The villagers began to notice strange things. Crops grew, but some bore bitter fruit. A shadow passed over Maku's household. His son Kofi, who had once run through the fields barefoot with laughter, grew quiet and pale. Okamfo Ano visited again. After a long ceremony beneath the baobab of ancients, he revealed that the curse had not been fully lifted. The land forgives slowly, but the ancestors, he paused, his fingers pressed to the soil, they remember. At night, Maku heard whispers outside his hut. At first, he thought it was the wind. But one night, he followed the sound to his fields and found footprints, bare, small, and glowing faintly in the moonlight. They vanished at the edge of a half-withered maize stalk. Ikusi, who had watched her husband spiral between guilt and obsession, feared he would lose his mind. "You are trying to farm forgiveness from a land that is still grieving," she said. But Maku refused to rest. He began visiting Nana Aku daily, begging for more rituals, more advice. She eventually revealed the truth. The spirits accepted your apology. But your ambition broke more than soil. It fractured the spirit of Dimkala itself. You must journey to the origin. Mount Kalema was far beyond the hills where the first ancestors were said to have knelt and spoken with the gods. No one had dared venture there for generations. It was sacred and dangerous. Maku, driven by love for his son and a need for redemption, set out alone. He carried no tools, only a satchel with dried baobab fruit, a carved gourd of water, and a pouch of earth from his cursed field. He climbed through thick mist, slept among jackals, and finally reached the summit, where a shrine of smooth black stone stood alone, humming with ancient energy. There he performed the ceremony of the first soil, using the dirt he had brought. As he chanted, the wind howled, and the earth beneath him cracked open. But instead of falling, he was shown visions. The moment he plowed the land during the month of silence, his son playing with a newborn goat under a rainless sky, a kuse crying silently in the doorway as crops rotted in the storehouse. A voice echoed, "You asked for more than you needed. Now give more than you ever have." When Maku returned to Dimkala, he was no longer the man he once was. His eyes held a quiet sorrow, and his steps were slow, reverent. He gathered the villagers and announced he would give his land to the community. He built a new shrine in the center of the village and devoted the rest of his life to teaching children the old songs, the planting rhythms, the sacred silences. Years passed. Dimkala's harvests were steady, though never as abundant as before. But they were honest. And when Kofi finally smiled again, chasing butterflies through a new yam field, Akusi knew the curse had truly lifted. Maku